Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Ryan X coming to you live. Hope that you all are having a blessed and wonderful day. You know what they say, what the world likes to say. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, TGIF. Well, we thank God for every day, even Mondays and Tuesdays, because every day is a blessing. Every day is a day that we're given a chance to get it right. Uh, than we did the previous day. So we thank Allah for each chance that He has given us to see another day. For this is the day that He has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. With that being said, I hope that you all are having a blessed, wonderful day. Hope you all had a blessed, wonderful week. In the likelihood that you're having one of those days, even though it's Friday, always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, getting into the topic for this video, Ayesha Curry, the wife of Steph Curry, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, she made some controversial comments recently. She said that she never wanted to be married and have children. Interesting. Um, and the reason why I said that's interesting is because did she relay this to Steph Curry when they were dating? Because they dated when he was in college at Davidson. Then he got drafted by the Warriors. So, and they had their first child, I believe, 2 years after he was drafted. He was drafted in '09, and they had their first daughter, well, their first child, excuse me, the oldest child, in 2011. So, um, it was cool when you married the man and he was drafted into the NBA. But then years later, well, I wanted to be a career woman. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have children. But you still married the man when he even, y'all got married when he got drafted. Well, after he got drafted, 2 years after he got drafted, y'all got married. So it was fine. You stayed with him when he got drafted. That's cool. Dated him, and then you married him. Then you had a child by him. Interesting. Interesting. Y'all see where I'm going with this? It's like it almost sounds like Aisha was a what we used to call a sack chaser back in the day, or a gold digger. Um, he was good enough to marry, um, because he was in the NBA, but you didn't want to have a family with him, and you didn't want to get married. So I don't know. Maybe something's fishy about this, but and you were able to become a career woman. That's the crazy thing about it, because she has restaurants around the country. She have her own cookware, whatever it is, her own businesses. So she was able to become a career woman, as well as a mother, as well as the wife of a famous NBA star. So she had it her way. And plus, I'm sure she has nannies. I'm sure the Currys have nannies to take care of their children. They're multi-millionaires. I'm sure they have nannies. I'm sure she's not spending uh, at the house 24/7 cooking dinner and changing diapers and making beds. I'm sure she's not doing that. So she was able to become a career woman. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now, hit that subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. It's just crazy to me that she would make these statements, but some things are better left not said. Did you communicate this with Steph Curry? Did you communicate this with him? How about communicating this with him years ago? Probably didn't, because he would have dropped you like a bad habit. But it's like, and I don't know Steph Curry, but from what I heard um, about him from people who met him, and from what I've seen, he seems like a stand-up brother. He seems like a man who is trying to do the right thing. He loves his wife. He loves his family. He goes out, plays basketball, and he goes home to his wife and children. He's not out here creating controversy. He's not out here getting in trouble with the law. Um, you don't hear of anything, his name tied to any trouble. And that's good. And, salute to him for that. We need more like him. He seems to be a good role model. We know that athletes should be role models for our children, but if there is one who you can look to and say, you know what, he's a good young man. He's younger than me. He's a good brother. Um, I guess you could call him a role model in a sense. I guess you could, in the sense that the way he conducts himself on and off the court. Is he perfect? By no means. No one's perfect. But the way he conducts himself on and off the court, I could see, the brother seems to be a stand-up dude. And to have this controversy, it's like, man, this man don't deserve this. He don't deserve it. It's not right. And it's selfish on Ayesha Curry's part because without Steph Curry, you wouldn't have been, I'm sorry, who? Ayesha, who? Who are you? Who are you? So there you have it. And would she have felt this way if Steph Curry would have never become an NBA star? If he never was drafted in the NBA? If he was Steph Curry who worked at Wendy's, or let's not say Wendy's, who worked as a security guard or worked at the worked at the local Apple store, worked for Apple, was a regular employee, was working 8-hour days, 40-hour work weeks, would she have felt this way then? Would she had married him? So I just look at the motive of why people say the things that they say. And I remember a long time ago that she said she wanted to be noticed by men, that she wanted men to look at her. Lady, they are looking at you. It's, people like this are never satisfied. They never sa- You know how many women out here that would love to have the life that you have, that God has blessed you to have the life that you have, the husband who doesn't, from what I've known, from what I could tell, he doesn't go out here and cheat on you. This man is a multimillionaire. He's a famous athlete. He's recognized around the world. I'm sure women can throw themselves at him, but he doesn't take the bait. He comes home to his family. Be appreciative of what you have, lady. It's many women out here that would love to have your life, love to have a faithful husband, love to have the family that you're having, love to have the opportunities. You had the opportunities to start a business. You're making millions off your businesses. So you are a career woman as well as a wife and a mother. But you want to go out here and make a spectacle of yourself. So it's like, damn, I want men to look at me. Why do you want men to look at you? Your husband looking at you is not enough? What if Steph Curry said, I never wanted to be a father. I just want to concentrate on my career. I never wanted to be a husband. I want women to look at me. Could you imagine if Steph Curry said that? I want women to look at me. I never wanted to be a father or a husband. they would cut his head off. They would come for his jugular. That ungrateful ass nigga. How dare him? I can hear him now. Peace, God. Brother King Lee. Thank you for tuning in, soldier. You're a real one. That's my brother right there. I got to catch up with you too, man. We got a lot of catching up to do. So I promise you we're going to do that here soon. Just been crazy busy, brother. But thank you for tuning in. But yeah, they would have came for his jugular. That ungrateful ass nigga. How dare him say that he don't want to be a husband and father, and he want other women to look at him? What kind of? Well, see, that's why these niggas ain't no good, girl. And then here we go with this. But yet and still, it's okay for Ayesha Curry to say this. The hypocrisy is just it's incredible. The hypocrisy is incredible, and it's not all black women. Let me just be clear on that. But far too many of our sisters are defending this foolishness. Far too many. Not all. Not all. Let me be very clear on that. Not all, but far too many are defending this foolishness. And this is the hypocrisy. This is why there are issues with the black man and the black woman, because we have they um they enable foolishness like this. They defend it. But then these same women out their mouths want to sit up here and say a good man is hard to find. Or they want to say, black man ain't ish, so I'm gonna go over to here to the white man because we know he is the closest thing to God that there ever was made. He's the epitome of holiness. I'm gonna go over here to the white man. But we see how that's working out for a lot of our sisters. These white men are killing these black women. I mean, they're not just killing, they are just savagely murdering them, beheading them, dismembering their bodies, all kind of stuff. Oh my God. But yet and still, a lot of y'all, not all, but far too many of y'all want to run to the white man because he is the epitome of greatness and holiness. Brother Steph Carlo, salute to you. I'm doing good, brother. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Another real one. But they wanna just run over to the white man. And brothers, not all of us, let me be very clear on that. Brothers, some of us have ourselves to blame. Some of you brothers have yourselves to blame because y'all not getting y'all shit together. Y'all don't know how to treat the black woman. And this goes back to the whole thing of the father being in the household. We don't have fathers to teach these young boys, young men, how to become husbands, how to become fathers, how to treat our women. They're not being taught that, like how I was taught that, how many of us was taught that. Even brothers who didn't have fathers. I know a few brothers who didn't have fathers coming up. They went into the Nation of Islam as teenagers, and the nation, the FOI, showed them how to become better men, how to become fathers and husbands. And what great teaching! You can't get better teaching than that, than a fruit of Islam. You can't get better teaching than that. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad and this Messiah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you cannot get better teaching on how to be a man than those men right there. You cannot get it. Yes, I got it from my father. He was a great teacher. But there are a lot of things, and no fault of his own. There are a lot of things that I learned from being in the nation that my father didn't teach me. But I thank God for my father. I thank God for my uncles. I thank God for my grandfathers. I thank God for the OGs in the neighborhood. I thank God for the brothers in the nation who showed me how to be a better man, a better black man, a better husband and father. I thank God for that. I can never thank Allah enough. If Mrs. Ayesha Curry felt that way, why the hell did she marry Steph Curry? Great question. Man, Steph Curry needs to divorce her for real. But those California divorce laws, yeah, I think because California was so everything that he worked for, half of it is her. I think that's how California works. Half of it becomes hers, and then he has half. Even though she never would have had the life she has been afforded if it were not for him. We all know this. She benefited from his hard work, but what he worked hard for, half of it would go to her, and then he'd keep his half. I think that's how it works out here in California. Yeah, it's no joke, bro. You're right. But I don't think Steph Curry the one. I think he's gonna. He seems like the type of man to stay with her, and he should stay with her. If that's his choosing, he don't want to call he don't he want his private life to be private. He don't he knows that if he divorces her, it's gonna be all on TMZ. It's gonna be all around the world. Oh, Steph Curry got a divorce. And it's gonna take away from his season. It's gonna take away from what he's trying to accomplish. And he doesn't want to do that. And so I can't blame him. He seemed like a private brother that he wants to keep his life private. He don't want the public, Joe and Jane public, knowing what's going on in his private life. So now, if he divorces her later after he retires, that's one thing. But right now, it would cause too much attention. At least that's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's like, man, come on, lady, really, really. Like I said, if Steph Curry worked at at Apple, was an Apple employee working 8-hour days, 40-hour work week, we never would have heard of Ayesha Curry. Never would have heard of her. She wouldn't have mind had been a wife and mother then, but now that he makes, well, I don't know, I want to be a career woman. This man, you were able to have the life that you were able to become a businesswoman off of his let's just say off of his coattails, off of his off of what he makes in the NBA. His salary allowed you to start your businesses. That's a fact. So, lady, stop it with this foolishness, with this nonsense. That's ridiculous. And sisters, stop co-signing stuff like this. Stop it. You're not Ayesha Curry. You're not going to marry anyone like him, like Steph Curry. You're not, because people like Steph Curry, they have higher goals. They want somebody who's on their level. And a lot of you sisters are not are not on that level of someone who's a multimillionaire. I know that sound mean, but it's just I'm just being real. You're not going to have her life. Try to have the life that's better suited for you. Being a mother, being a good wife, being a good mother, and let Allah bless you from there. But you're not going to get this fairy tale life. or like some of you sisters did a few years back when Meghan Markle married that was it Prince Harry, whatever his name. No, you're not going to have that life. That's not something to look forward to. Look all the hell they going through. That big old prompt and circumstance wedding they had, and look at the hell they going through, where Harry had to leave the royal family and move to Southern California to get away from his family because they didn't like their marriage. They didn't like the fact that their baby Archie was too dark. But those of us who pay attention, we're not surprised by any of this because the royal family, they're the OGs of this racism game, baby. They're the OGs of it. So of course they're gonna. So why would we be surprised? Look at history. Just pay attention. Look at what they did around the world. All the people they brutalized and terrorized and colonized. So why should we be surprised by the royal family not liking Meghan Markle or their their child? No big surprise. Only people who are surprised are those who didn't pay attention. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. I'm gonna hop off of here, y'all. I think I got my point across on this topic. I hope that I did. If so, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Share it, share it, share it. Let's flood the algorithm with it and let's have the conversation. At first, I wasn't going to talk about this. Um, I was going to stay away from it, but I kept seeing it and I kept seeing people talk about it, people that I respect. When I started doing this channel, I said, if black people are talking about it, then I'm going to talk about it. That's what Ed Gordon pretty much said. I know I'm paraphrasing, but Ed Gordon, the great reporter that was on BET News decades ago, he said that if the black community talking about it, then I'm talking about it. And I like to think that I like to echo those same sentiments. So that's the only reason why I'm talking about this. But in any event, let's have a conversation. Share this video. Let's flood the algorithm with it. I know there are going to be people who disagree with me on this, especially women who may tune into it, and that's cool. And I'm cool with that. That's fine and dandy. We all have a right to our opinion. However, in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, facts, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. So just keep that in mind. Agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Support my YouTube channel, my future projects coming down the trough. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank y'all for rocking with me all this time. I appreciate it and I love y'all. And I don't take y'all love and support for granted. So please continue to rock with your brother. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, on vacation, at home doing nothing, whatever the case may be, beware and be aware. We cannot afford to fall asleep at the wheel in this hour. Those of us in the nation, General Order number 2. Y'all know what that means. Those of y'all in the nation, y'all know what I mean by that. General Orders, number 2 of the General Orders. So keep that in mind, always. I love y'all. Have a blessed and wonderful day. I will talk to you sooner than later, inshallah. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.